Hello. Oh my God. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm not home in Georgia, but I'm in my second home. Actually, this have to be my first home. I'm in my first home in New York City. I love New York City because I think God really have established me in America because of New York City. This is the first city I entered when I came to America, and it has been good to me. So I don't take New York for granted. Anytime I come here, I'm so happy. I don't have to do the Broadways and the Times Square and all those things. When I have time, I do it. But whether I go there or not, I'm just happy I'm in New York. So this is a happy day for me because I'm in New York. So thank you so much for joining me today. We are ending our topic on sex and the bedroom issues and the intimacy between us and our partners. And it has been a very wonderful show the whole of this month. I mean, if you miss it, please go back and listen to it. If you are married, if you're a pastor, go back and listen to it. I remember I said that I'm talking for most of the pastors, that the things that you cannot speak on the pulpit, I'm using this show to address them. So it's very good. We listen to it. It will help us. Thank God for my daughter and my secretary on Woman of Influence, Abby. She have downloaded all the shows on my YouTube. So thank God you can go on YouTube and watch all the shows since we started. So we have all the shows there. So thank you, Abby. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for doing that. But we thank God for this morning, and we want to try as much as possible to cover what we can. So please invite your friends to come in, tag your friends to come in, because we are not home. I have to do most of the tagging myself, and I have to share the pictures, the videos myself. But you can please really help me to do that, okay? To share the video with somebody and tag somebody to come in. I said here when we started, and it was very interesting because even the host wasn't comfortable talking about sex, because that is the background that I grow, out. You hardly see your mom or your dad even holding hands. So my background was not something that you just get up and start talking about sex, but it's very important because it's the glue in our marriage, and it's help us with reborning together, growing together. And most of our Christian homes are suffering because of this, because the woman cannot talk, the man is not talking, but there's a tension, there's always quarreling, there's always divorce, breakout, and all those things, which is not helping. So that's why we decide, to talk about it and help somebody out here. So I think for 4 weeks of talking about it, I think I am like 50% comfortable, talking about it now. But it's very important. The reason of divorce and breakout, it's all stem from not having a very good intimacy in our marriage. So it's very important. Please share the video with somebody, tag somebody to come in. I have my wonderful husband here who has been helping me wonderfully with this show now, and it seems like he's here every day, so it's really making me better. Thank you so much, sweetie, for
Amen. I'm glad to be here
this morning. So we're going to talk about some of the causes that weaken our sexual drive or weaken our sexual desire. Some of the things that make us not even to feel that we want to have sex, or we want to even talk about it, or we want to do anything about it. I mean, sometimes it's really a sin for a husband and a wife to stay in the same house for months and they haven't even touched each other. I don't know how they do it, but it's very interesting. So now we are talking about some of the causes of that. So the first thing, Bishop, I put here, have you been able to share a little bit?
I'm still sharing. I'm still sharing. Let's keep sharing, because this information is very important. Hey, Abby.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Woman of Influence Secretary is present. I like that.
Yeah,
you were a bit late. So I'm going to After the show, I'm going to check to see where you were, why you were late.
And I'm going to
deduct from your pay.
Yeah, we're going to deduct from your pay. But you are doing a very good job. Thank you so much for all the YouTube videos that now people can go to our YouTube. Just simple. Just type Victoria Krepi. You type Victoria Krepi, it will take you straight to YouTube. You can watch all the videos that are there. Wonderful, wonderful videos that will help you. Whether you are going to get married now, you are married, you are trusting God for your Boaz, wherever you are in your relationship site, it is covered. It will really, really help you. So tag somebody, share the video with somebody, and it's really, really going to help them. So Bishop, let's start talking, and as we are also trying to share the video at the same time. So I wrote here bitterness because I believe that if
before we even tackle the sweetie, the first thing I want to deal with or talk about here is this: the frequency of sexual intimacy of a couple is the thermometer or the barometer of the strength of their relationship and their love.
Wow.
The more frequently a husband and wife are intimate, tells you that they have a healthy marital relationship.
Wow.
The less frequency of the intimacy tells you that there's a problem in a marriage, and every serious couple should be able to be concerned and worried to want to look into that to see how they can be able to fix that problem. Okay, and because like we have been saying since we started this subject, that sex, it's a very important thing created by God, which is more or less like the glue and the cement between a husband and a wife.
Wow.
So the more frequently you are intimate, number one, is a strong indication that both husband and wife are in a healthy and a good and enjoyable marriage relationship. We can't take that for granted, and we cannot underestimate that. Once that is in place, then now we can look at possible causes. Why some marriages or what are the causes that makes people not to feel. Pastor Nana, you have to request so we can bring you in. Request. Let me see if I can pull. I'm not seeing. You have to turn your camera on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm adding you on now. You have to accept and come in. You have to accept and come in. All right. Good. We got it on. Hallelujah.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Okay.
So yeah, we just started and then we're talking about we're gonna be looking at the causes.
So can you come closer?
No, they can see me. You can see me.
Oh,
the viewers can see
me.
Okay,
perfect. Okay, good.
I'm sure the viewers can see me.
Yeah.
So what we are basically saying here is that you are going to be giving us the medical aspects of the causes of some of the sexual weaknesses and the dysfunctions in the person's sexual life.
Yeah.
But before you came on, I was just recapping and saying that frequency of sex is an indication that there is a healthy marital relationship.
Okay.
That both couples are happy in a marriage and the marriage is doing well. The lack of frequency of sex in a marriage is also an indication that there's a problem that has to be dealt with and fixed, and there's my book I use for counseling, which is written by Bishop Dan. He has stated clearly in there that the more frequently couples have sex, it's a strong indication that they are happy. They both love each other. They enjoy spending time together. But the less frequency, it means that there's a problem that is building up in the marriage.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Bishop, I agree with you 100%. And I even tell the women that I work with that when the relationship is better, the sex is better. Because people are more open Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can
Go
hear
ahead.
you.
When the relationship is going well, the sex is better.
Good.
When people are able to express themselves well, the sex is better. And if when the relationship is good, it flows into everything that they do. It flows into their finances. It flows into their the way they relate to one another. It flows into their family life. It flows into even ministry.
Yeah.
You So it's so important that we, like we said in the previous weeks, that we have a great foundation in the relationship, which is the communication, so that it can trickle down into everything, into the sex life and everything. So it's very important.
Wow, that's very good. Please, if you are watching, we are concluding talking about anything about sex, but today we are talking about some of the causes that really weakens our sexual desires and everything. And before we get to the medical aspect, Pastor Nana, I put here that bitterness, when people are in a relationship and they are bitter, something is causing them to be bitter. It can also decrease their sex drive with each other. Is that true?
It is very, very true.
Okay.
When people are bitter and resentful against one another, there's no communication.
Okay.
There's no sex communication. And bitterness, I think Bishop has said that before. I don't know if it's Bishop or somebody else, that there was a woman that was sick.
Yeah.
She was so sick and she had cancer.
Yes.
And she was on her deathbed, and the doctors couldn't even know what to do with her. And the thing that the doctor asked her was, is there anybody that you need to forgive?
Wow.
Because bitterness is so deep that it can even kill you. It can destroy your life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it causes you to get sick.
Yeah.
It causes you to have unnecessary stress, which we talked about in the previous episodes, that when you have stress, your body tends to do something that is abnormal.
Okay.
And when your body is functioning abnormally, you get sick.
Okay.
So bitterness can prevent couples from enjoying a good sex life.
Wow.
Yes.
Bishop.
Yeah.
What
And that's the danger. That's why you really, and the story you told, I remember I said that story about a woman of God who's one of the associate pastors betrayed her, and because of that she was so bitter and got cancer, and through prayer it was found out that was the reason, and she died with it. So, and certainly it can affect your sexual life and drive, because if I'm bitter against my wife and I resent her, then nothing in me will want to desire her.
Okay.
And vice versa. So one of the things that can affect the marital, the sexual drive or desire in the marriage is bitterness. Okay. Bitterness against one another.
Yeah.
If a husband is bitter against the wife is bitter against the husband, sex won't work.
Wow.
And it will no more be termed as love making.
Yeah, it will be like duty.
Yeah. It's not even a duty. It's like you are masturbating.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are tense and you want to release yourself, and it doesn't even work.
Wow.
It doesn't even work. It will create other more problems, because God created sex to be enjoyed in a loving relationship. Okay, so bitterness is a major cause. And so if you are watching and you are listening now, and you are bitter against your husband, you are bitter against your wife, it won't work. And sometimes on this bitterness, we keep it, it's like bearing grudge that your husband doesn't even know, your wife doesn't know. It can easily affect the relationship. Yeah. And you are bitter against your husband or your wife, and there's resentment. Okay, and you are pretending. So when you are even having love, it can be, you can see you are just lying there like a cadaver. The cadaverous sex comes in there because you are bitter, you are not happy, you are resentful. Nothing works.
Yes, and it's very, very, very true, because
there's no orgasm. There's no fulfillment.
Okay, that's very, very true. Please, if you are watching, can you share the video for me? Tag a friend to come in. We are talking about some of the causes that really weakens our sexual drive, with each other. And bitterness is, of course, is one of the things. If you are not happy, if you don't like the person, it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Janice Davis says something very important. Look
Yeah.
at this. And Pastor Nana, you can comment on it. She said, when my marriage was going bad, the sex was bad. I didn't want him to touch me.
You see, that's true. Yeah.
What says that?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Like I said, the bitterness seeps into everything.
Mm.
There's no attraction, there's no affection, there's no compassion.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know,
And these,
and
are,
there's no passion.
and these are all the things you need in order to have a good sex life.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you don't feel like it, I mean, you won't feel like it. Please, if you have any question, okay, if you have anything that you want to ask, this is the best time to ask, and we will try as much as possible to answer all. I've noticed that all of you are watching. Mama Love is watching from England. My pastor Eric is watching from England too. So I noticed that all of you guys are watching. Thank you so much for watching. I can't mention all the names, but I've noticed I can see your name here that you are watching. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for watching. So, Pastor Nana, what are some of the causes, medically, that also try to hinder? I know overweight is there. When people have too much weight, it doesn't help. Heart disease, diabetes, and all those things. So, what are some of the causes? Can you give us some?
So let's go for the heavy duty stuff, which is number one, diabetes.
Okay.
Diabetes, what diabetes does, diabetes is high blood sugar.
Okay.
When you eat, your body breaks the food down that you eat into sugar, which is used for energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what happens is that when somebody has diabetes, their body is not really able to break down the sugar and turn it into the energy that they need.
Mm.
So what ends up happening is that the sugar is swimming in your bloodstream.
Wow.
Which in turn ends up causing your blood vessels to be weak.
Mm.
Okay. And so when that happens, there's a whole, but see, the way God has made our body is interconnected. In the sense that just as we as a body of Christ, we are supposed to be interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
The body that God gave us, which is an example, is interconnected. So when one thing starts going down, it begins to affect the rest of the thing.
Wow.
You understand? So in this case, in terms of sex, you need your blood vessels, especially for a man, in order for him to have an erection. So if your blood vessel is weak or it has broken down, how can you have an erection, or how can you have a sustainable erection?
Okay. Wow.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So diabetes damages our blood vessels and our nerves.
Wow.
What once that we are here, because it's very, very interesting now. I mean, we used not to have, especially back home, we used not to have a lot of diabetes, but now you go to Africa and it's like almost everybody have diabetes. What are we doing that is making us that much sick?
It is our diet.
Okay.
You see, food is medicine. God gave us food for medicine. When we put food in our body, or when we ingest food,
Yeah.
it breaks down into all the minerals and the vitamins that we need.
Wow.
And so if we're not eating the right stuff, then what we need in order for our body to function the way God has intended it to function will not function.
Okay.
So, for example, when you go to Africa or even here, a lot of our community, we're eating a lot of stuff that we're not supposed to. We're eating a lot of processed foods. We're not eating real food like we used to do. Our great grandmothers used to do in Africa.
Organic
eating
food.
from the farm, and they're eating their plantains, their yam, and all those things. And they ate they didn't eat a lot.
Yeah.
And they also worked out. A lot of them went to the farm, back and forth. The father is going, the mother is going as well. They were working out. Understand? But we here, especially we the Africans that are here, We have chosen to eat like the way they eat in Africa, but we're not working
That
out.
is the problem. That is it.
We jump in our car when we go to the grocery store. We jump in our car to go everywhere.
Yeah.
And we come home, we're working a lot. Many of us are working 2-3 jobs. We come home very late and we still want to eat our big bowl of fufu or banku or whatever. And as soon as we finish eating, we go to sleep.
Oh, Jesus.
So we are damaging our body. And many of us, we are praying. Many of us are praying and praying and praying and praying. But God has given us so much knowledge, and we're not utilizing the knowledge He has given us. And so you see a man of God who's on fire and anointed, and yet they're sick.
Yeah.
They have diabetes or they have high blood pressure, and they are binding the demon of high blood pressure and diabetes all the time. When really and truly, they're not really taking care of themselves.
I think you have to bind your
You
mouth.
you buy a car and you don't change the oil, or you don't put the right oil in the car. You don't service the car. You don't do all the things that the manual says you have to do. The car is going to break down.
Wow.
And that's what's happening to our bodies now.
Wow. Wow. Bishop, I mean, this is very, very important, okay? It's people are sick in our churches, okay? And it's sad that we are sitting under the anointing. God is doing what He has to do, but we are sick because we can't discipline ourselves. And I love what you said yesterday when you were with our sister Shalom. You said anointing without discipline is dangerous.
Yeah.
But that is what is happening. We are so anointed, but we can't discipline ourselves. I have to eat this much. I have to do this. I don't have to touch this food. It's late. You know, how can we get there?
So like Pastor Nana,
it's
right?
a decision.
Yeah.
It's a decision we have to make.
Yeah.
Remember that we were doing a health fair at church, and we brought in a mannequin to even show the people at our church how to even do CPR. If you're with someone and they're having difficulty breathing and all that, how to do CPR. And after church, I even asked them, everybody should come so that we can show you one-on-one how to do it. Nobody came because they're not interested in that.
Yeah.
So it's a decision that we have to make to empower ourselves. God has provided so much knowledge for us. We are in a dispensation where we have so much knowledge at our fingertips, and many of us are refusing to learn and to grow. I believe that's where the problem is.
Wow.
Wow. Man of God, what
no, so I think we need to, food is medicine and medicine is food. You are what you basically eat. If you eat junk, you produce, or your body will become junky. And that begins to weaken you. It weakens your heart. And like you rightly said, you begin to develop diseases and all of that. And so I think that one of the things we all need to do is to discipline ourselves, eat in proportions, exercise, and try the best that we can to keep our body in shape. Because if you don't do that, then you are destroying the vessel that God has given you. You know,
right.
I was teaching in church, I think last week. God can give you 100 years. Now I think it was a youth. God can give you 100 years. That's His plan for you.
Okay.
But if I don't maintain the body to be able to hold my spirit for 100 years, you know, even though it is God's vision and plan for me to live for 100 years, because I abused my body, I didn't exercise, I didn't eat well, it will affect every part of my body.
Wow.
And I think sometimes it's the lack of discipline, which, I mean, triggers down into our sexual life, and it creates tension. Okay, so we have to try to fight diabetes. Interestingly, one time a guy came, he was trying to sell us a cooking pan, a saucepan, right? And he came to come and demonstrate the food, how the pan works.
Yes.
And he made a statement that resonated with me. Okay, he says that when we say that diabetes run through a particular family, it is all based on what we eat.
Yeah. Because
if somebody tells you that if you eat well, you will not have diabetes, then the thing is not in your bloodline.
Yeah.
It is the habits, the lifestyle that runs through the family. Yeah. So if you are a family of eating late, that's how you grew up. And then you give it to your children, and your children also grow up. And like you said, the kind of food we eat, we use high. We eat a lot of high carb food.
Carbohydrates, yeah, and oil.
You know, and oily food. So we get a lot of heart diseases and get a lot of sugary food. And we don't work out a lot too. So back in Africa where you walk a lot, now God has prospered us. We have cars, nice cars. So from your house to your car to your office and back. Even the grocery shop. You know what you're picking in Walmart. You pick it as you leave. Kroger. How long do you spend in Kroger?
Yeah.
So all these things are affecting our health, which is triggering into our sexual health, which I believe that we all have to take note and begin to reverse it.
Right.
Akwesi, thank you so much for watching from the Bronx. I have somebody watching from the Bronx. Thank you so much. I love it. I love the Bronx too.
Bronx, you have to come
Yes.
to to our
I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you're also from the Bronx.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I love the Bronx. I'm trying to discipline myself here. You know the Bronx, the good food and the corners and everything. I'm like,
I
oh
know.
please, I'm trying to discipline myself. So this time I'm really, really disciplining myself in the Bronx because you can sing when you're in the Bronx. Oh, the food are so good, but I'm disciplining myself.
No,
One week will not be bad.
Oh no.
Just consider that you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
see.
Thank you.
A little bit when you're on vacation.
Okay, good. Okay, so we are still talking about some of the things that really weaken us out sexually, that make us lose interest in having sex with our partners. And I wrote here that not feeling love or unhappy in marriage. If you are not happy in marriage, you don't feel like even your husband love you, then you will not desire to have sex. Bishop,
The question here is: will you want to give or have sex with a stranger? Will you want to have sex with somebody you think doesn't love you? Will you want to have sex with somebody who is treating you with disrespect and being mean towards you? So if your wife feels unappreciated, unloved, and unhappy, of course, it's going to affect the person's sexual drive towards you or sexual desire towards you. You know, we have to be smart. And when you are smart, just love the woman you claim you love. And love can be seen, love can be felt. And like you are talking about affection, do I have any kind of vibe that shows that this man really cares about me? Or you are only nice when you need sex? You see, if you only show me love when you want something from me, I begin to be suspicious of your good gestures towards me. So for me, unhappiness, unlove in marriage is one factor that can affect the sexual intimacy of a marriage.
Wow.
That's right, Bishop. And I just thought about something I wanted to share. For example, and this is pertaining to women.
Okay.
For example, I've seen a lot of women after they have a baby, they begin to think that they're not beautiful enough. Your body is not the same. Which your body does change a little bit, after you have a baby, and it takes time for your body to come back to its normal, way.
Yeah.
And so I've seen women say, "Oh, I don't look good enough," or they can even ask their husband, "How do I look?" Because in the back of their mind, they're thinking that they're not, beautiful enough, or they're not attractive enough.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that go through women's head sometimes. As a man, when you hear your wife say something like that, oh, maybe my stomach is too big, or my butt is too flat, or something, you have to find ways to bring her back.
Wow.
If for instance, she really needs to lose some weight, you find a way to talk to her. Maybe you and her can go to the gym together so that you can help to bring her back. I've seen so many women, especially, when you first have a baby, your stomach is a little bit, they say, "Oh, I don't feel attracted enough anymore. I don't feel good, attracted to my husband anymore. I don't feel good anymore."
Wow.
Which is sometimes a hormonal change that you're going through. and just their self-image, they don't feel good anymore.
Yeah.
So as a husband or as a man, that is when you come in to get her back to be comfortable again. Maybe affirmation words, let's go to the gym together. And sometimes they tell the woman, oh, you're too fat, you need to lose weight. And
Yeah.
That is insulting though, and that can be very demoralizing.
And meanwhile, they also have a pot belly that they need to work on.
Yeah.
And they can both go to the gym together and work on each other so that their sex life can be better. But many a times, we can make little statements here and there of ourselves and also from the partner that will make us feel, not attractive enough. So this is something that we also have to look at.
So you really need to educate us, especially women, to know that we cannot just make, I'm trying to adjust the camera a little bit. Yeah, we cannot just make statements and expect it to be fine, So what you are trying to say is that if the sex life is going to be good, then we need to be able to speak words of affirmation, encouragement, boost their morale, motivate them. If even they come to us saying, oh, how does my stomach look? How does my back look? Am I fat?
I do that a lot.
I'm fat. And I say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. I love it the way it is,
Yeah.
And then use reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is what you suggested. Oh, honey, I'm thinking I'll go to the gym. Can we go together? And then you try to woo her so you both can go to the gym and then exercise together, and all of that. And I think that every woman who loves themselves and want to be healthy will want to go to the gym. And then also cut down what you eat and then work out and get yourself, because these things are very important.
It is.
For me, I don't want to see Christians' marriages ending in divorce. And once the sexual intimacy begins to die out in the marriage, then the marriage is gradually dying out. And I like what somebody just testified, that when her marriage was going bad, the sex also started going bad. She didn't want the man to touch him. And once you begin to get to that point, there is a serious problem in the relationship, and it has to be fixed. That's why we are doing this show. We're not just doing this show because we just want to talk about sex. We want to help you.
Yeah.
We want your marriage to work. We want you to stay in this marriage 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, married to the same person and still madly in love. What a joy and a beauty to be that you both are 80 years or 90 and 75 or 85, and then you are like, we've been married for 60 years, we've been married for 70 years. It is a testimony to the glory of God.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yes, please, if you are watching, we are talking about some of the things that are weakening our sexual drives. Please share the video with somebody, tag somebody to come in. It's very, very, very important, because I said from the beginning of the show that sex is the glue in our marriage. If you and your husband are there for weeks and you are not having sex, you have to start worrying. What is going on? Is he getting it from somewhere or something? Something has to go on. There are no trees. Your husband is not a tree, and of course you two, you are not a tree. So you can't say that, oh, I'm for my husband, he doesn't like sex. You have to sit down and start thinking what is really, really going on, because there must be something going on. It's very, very important. And it's very, very sad. We go to church. We are all in church every Sunday. Pastor is preaching. We are Christians. And the next time, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years along the line, oh, we are divorcing. It's sad.
Those are the artists.
It's
those
sad.
are the artists and the pretenders. If you are not happy,
that's hypocrisy.
Yes, thank you. And if you are not happy, let us know you are not happy. Let's help you. And the pride, the hypocrisy, I don't want nobody to know my business. My friend, if nobody knows your business, when it explodes, find out very soon. Yes, when it explodes, everybody will know. You don't even need to tell nobody. Everybody will know.
Yeah.
When the divorce is happening, everybody will know. So you better seek for help. Humble yourself and seek help now. Yeah. I like one comment that one sister just made. She said we should talk about Kate. Kate said talk about solutions together. Regarding when a woman feels like she's gaining weight or she's putting up weight a little bit somewhere. Yes, talk about the solutions together. Kate, I agree to that. And that's one of the things. We've spoken about it, especially when it comes to communication. The couples that talk together stick together. The couples that pray together stick together. The couple that make love together stick together. Yeah. All those things are very important.
Yeah, it's very, very, very important. And Pastor, whilst we are here, I want us to touch on it again. I know when you were talking earlier, you mentioned stress, okay? Because stress is, for me, I know what stress can be. I really know what stress can be, especially when we were in New York here. I was so stressful, and it cost me my health. So I know what stress can be. I know. I had to decide. I came to a point in my life and I decided, you know what God can do, I cannot do. Let me just sit down, relax, and take care of myself. Let God take care of whatever He has to take care of. If God cannot do it, I don't have to. Yeah. Let not be done. I don't have to bother myself about it. That is what have helped me the rest of my life here. I don't stress myself about anything. But stress is one of the things, because when a woman is in stress, she will not even think about anything than sex. I mean, sex is the last thing they want to think about if we are stressing. So how can we put stress away? Stress from men, from their work, from the pressure out there, not they thinking they are not enough taking care of their family as they have to take care of. That is the men's stress, because half of men, when they come to work and money, that is their own thing. Then they come to the women's side, we are stressing about a lot of things.
The children,
the home, how can we go on vacation? Go and sit at the park. It's a form of vacation. You don't have to go to travel to somewhere if you can afford. I mean, just so a woman of God, how can we deal with this stress?
Thank you. First of all, I believe we said it last week that sex boosts up your immune system.
Yes.
We did talk about it. On the opposite side, stress decreases your immune system and it makes you more prone to more diseases.
Wow.
How does that happen? We have different kinds of stress. We have good stress and we have bad stress.
Okay.
For example, if you're going to school and you have a test ahead of you, you can feel a little bit anxious, you can feel a little bit stressed because you have a test ahead of you.
Yeah.
How do you conquer the stress that you are having? You sit down and you study as much as you can. You study the material that has been given to you so that on the day of the test, you'll be able to reproduce the test or the answers that the teacher has given you. So that is a good stress. It gave you energy and it boosts you up so that you can study hard. You know, when you're going to take a test, sometimes you're staying up all night, you're staying up for longer hours, or you're writing a paper for school, you're staying up for a while to get that job done. So that is a good stress, because that stress gave you, thinking of what is ahead of you, give you the energy to really do what you have to do so you can come to a successful end.
Yes.
Okay. Many a times the stresses that we go through, they are unnecessary stress. I'm saying that to say that there are things that if we really sit down, we can really find a solution to it and not stress.
Okay.
The things that we cannot find a solution to, we leave those things to work out on this, so we leave it up to God. Because there's certain things that we can absolutely, no matter what we do, we cannot change it unless God changes that.
Yeah.
The irony of that is this, that sex is a stress reliever, and stress kills your sex drive.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you are stressful, and this is where partners have to be able to understand each other's body language, especially you women. When you see women, stressing, you come and give us some holy massage, take care of us, and relieve us of that stress. And that same way, when a husband sees that, because as for women, some of the things that can relieve you of your stress is to go on shopping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some people's shopping is their stress reliever.
Therapy.
I mean, they can go to the mall and they see nice things. Even if they don't buy anything, they are able to, see nice things and plan things and what have you. But stress have a way of killing your sexual drive, and it can make you weak. And like you said, it can bring a lot of all manner of sicknesses and things that you don't want. Especially lot of gastro problems are related to stress issues.
And cancer.
Yes. Yes.
We have a
So,
question here.
and Bishop,
Yes.
we as individuals, God has created us so different. We all have different personalities and we all have different temperaments. But I believe that as people of God, or as people in general, we need to develop an easygoing attitude.
Okay.
So there's many of us, little things stress us out. We don't know how to relax. We don't know how to let things go. So I believe that because not everybody can be easygoing.
Yeah.
But if you're not an easygoing person, you want to try to develop a habit or an attitude of easygoingness, if that's a word, so that we can ride through things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you hear the things that people are stressing about, you're like, why are they stressing about this? But to them, it's like so serious. Serious. So we as a people need to learn to be easygoing, develop that attitude to ride through things, even when you see a mountain in front of you. And we have an advantage of people of God. God has given us so many promises that we can stand on to go through the things that is ahead of us, or the things that is coming to us.
Yeah.
Amen. All right, let's read some comments here. Mami Love. Hey, hi, Mami Love. She says this. Some men like money more than their wife. Every day, they don't have money enough to pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. Listen, never put money ahead of your wife.
Yes.
Once your wife thinks that you value money more than, her, there's a problem. And men can act that way. And every day, and we don't have money. So we have to pay this. We have to do this. We have to do this. My friend, don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a smart thing to do. And then
Kate
also says, First Lady Victoria, I agree stress is a key factor. However, there should be a time out to combat stress. Pencil in playtime.
Yeah.
Couple time, simply as tea time together. Massage or vacation. Excellent.
Perfect.
I like that. That's beautiful.
Perfect.
Hey, Pastor Bossman, God bless you. How is Ghana? I hope everything is going on well in Ghana.
Yeah. And we have that one too.
Yeah, if you're Diamond. Some spouses get desperate when the healthy food and living doesn't work for either one. Some turn to the witch doctor, Obia man, for a quick fix to solve the problem. It only creates more friction and disconnect from God. Absolutely. Never do that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a smart thing to do. And I don't expect you as a Christian in any way to go to a native doctor or a witch doctor or Obia person to help you with anything. It's a no-no. Yeah. All right? So, yes. Pastor Nana, you can come in.
Another thing that can cause our sex life to deteriorate is hypertension, which is high blood pressure.
Okay.
How does that happen? When we eat certain foods that it's not good for us.
Okay.
It also pokes holes in our blood vessels. And so our body has to release something. I know people call it cholesterol, but cholesterol is not bad in the sense that it has come to patch the holes in your blood vessels so that the blood in your blood vessels will not seep out.
Okay.
And so as we continue to insult our body, these things begin to come and patch. and then it makes our blood vessels very narrow,
Mm.
so that the blood that is supposed to flow through the blood is not flowing well.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
And so,
And that can cause a lot of sexual problems.
that's right. And I've also seen a lot of even men that are on high blood pressure medication who will stop taking their blood pressure medication because they say the blood pressure medication is not making them have an erection. Now, if you're out there and that is your issue, the best thing to do is to talk to your doctor. There are many other high blood pressure medications out there that will not cause that problem. You talk to your doctor, and your doctor can come up with another medication that would not cause you not to have an erection. Because I've seen a lot of men have strokes.
Yeah.
Because they stopped taking their blood pressure medication because they couldn't have sex.
Wow.
And what
so then you know, sometimes too, when you're watching TV and then they are advertising our medication, right? And they tell you that some of the side effect is that loss of interest in sex and all of that. I mean, why would I want to take a medicine that will cause me to lose sex? Sex drive.
Yeah, but Bishop, if the person has a stroke, then they can't even have sex for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And what I tell, and I was telling that to a client yesterday, I said that you can get on the blood pressure medication and do a diet modification. And once your doctor sees an exercise, and once your doctor sees that you're doing well with your diet and also your exercise, and your blood pressure goes down,
They will take you out.
then you can come off the medication. But if I told her, I said, if you plan not to exercise and not to modify your diet, and you plan to do what you are doing currently, then don't even think about going off the medication because you will have a stroke.
And I think that for me, my personal take is that if we can really discipline ourselves and eat well and exercise, there's no health condition that cannot be reversed.
Yeah.
You know, somebody sent me, my mom sent me a video about even walking, 30 minutes walk, and even said something very powerful that people who were diagnosed with cancers, who walk every day, had a higher chance of going into remission and overcoming the cancer than those who don't walk at all. And how you can avoid a lot of diseases and sicknesses if only you choose to walk 30 minutes every day.
Just walking.
Right. I agree. And Bishop, unfortunately, we have a lot of people out there. It's just like people that come, church people. How many times have you told them what the heart of God, and they still decide not to change, and they still want to do the same thing? Unfortunately, that's human nature. There are a lot of people out there, no matter what you tell them, even if you open a human being and show them how their body is working and everything, they will still continue to be in their bad habit. And that is why I told that client yesterday, I said, if you plan not to make any changes and you plan to be in the same situation and do the same things that you're doing now, then don't even think about coming off your medication, because you will, with time, it's not going to get better. Your pressure is still going to continue to go up and you will have a stroke. But if you plan to make changes by changing your diet, by exercising and all that, then eventually you can come off your medication.
Wow.
So that is you have to give them the option. Like Jesus said, I put before you life and death, but I ask that you choose life.
Yeah.
You know, some people just want to choose death. I don't know.
No, it's a struggle. It's a Pastor Nana, I don't think that anybody personally wants to choose that. The point here is this, that, you know, and I think I've written in one of my books that habits are easy to form and very difficult to break and overcome. You see, it's easy to cultivate a bad habit, and it's very difficult to undo and unlearn bad habits. So the challenge has been, for instance, if you have established a pattern of eating late and you know I have to stop, and you tell yourself you want to stop, and then you stop 1 week, and then one day somebody tempts you, or you go the whole day, you didn't eat, and then you get back home, and then you are starving. It takes a real discipline to say, you know what, I'm going to keep to my, my new regimen and stay off.
Yeah.
Or you're going to say, my friend, if I don't eat, I may pass up in the middle of the night. So let me go and eat. And then by the time,
Bishop, you can make other alternative choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have to eat your big starchy food like
Yes.
fufu or banku or whatever. You can have like a bowl of fruit
Yeah.
or some yogurt or something. You can do some alternative,
That's
which will be okay as well.
yeah. You know, one thing, when it comes to choices and food and everything, it's very hard, but I think we all need to pray for grace, because my whole thing is, I don't want to get to a point in my life that the doctor will tell me, you can't eat this, you can't eat this, you can't eat this, because you have this, you have this, you have that. I think that if you live your life very disciplined, know what to eat, know what to eat, you can eat eventually everything the
I
rest of
agree.
your life. You understand?
I agree.
If you don't abuse food, because some of us, when we see food, we forget about everything. All that we are thinking is that food there, and we pray the anointing to conquer, the food. And this year, when we entered this year, I told my husband, I've gotten to a point in my life that I've decided that when I'm eating, I decide when to stop eating. So I decide when I'm full. Whether the food is halfway, half that, whatever, I decide, okay, this is how much I can eat. Without not even depending on my stomach to tell me, oh, there's more space in, you can push it in. But when I eat and okay, this is enough. So whether I'm full or not, I decide to stop. And I can continue.
They have this saying in Africa. I don't know if you heard it before. They said if it will spoil outside, then it must as well spoil inside you.
No, yes, that is what is killing us. That is really what is killing us, because this diabetes and blood sugars and those things is becoming too much among us. And I think we really have to, if we are going to trust God in our home, that our marriage is going to work and be strong and those things, then this aspect of our eating and our exercising, I mean, a lot of us don't exercise. We don't exercise. We work, as you said, two jobs. We come home, we are tired. We eat, we wake up in the morning, back to the same routine. So there is no exercise. You are eating, and you see in yourself that you are increasing sizes every year. You are increasing sizes. And it's like you can't do anything about it. You can do something about it. Start from somewhere.
It's a decision.
Yes, make a decision that you're going to. When I hit 40, I decided, okay, now the 40 is here. I really have to really discipline myself. And there's a lot of things, a lot of food, especially our food. I haven't eaten fufu for almost, like, I don't even remember, 10 or 12 years now. Banku is my favorite, but I eat it like Thanksgiving, when I eat it once a year. I've decided to put a lot of food aside, because if my body is going to take me to where God wants to take me to, I need to take care of it. I don't want to be preaching and drop dead. I've heard men of God drop dead at the pulpit because they were overweight and they didn't take care of themselves. I think we can do something about this thing. It's as simple as that. We need to be disciplined.
And Pastor, there are two things I want to mention before we go. Another thing is a thyroid problem.
Yes.
A lot of women do suffer from thyroid issues, and they are really even not aware of it. Okay. And they have two types. They have the hypothyroid, and then they have a hyperthyroid.
Yeah.
And thyroid has to do with your metabolism. So some women will say, I do everything that I need to do, but I still don't feel well. I'm still gaining a lot of weight, or I'm losing a lot of weight. And the only way you'll be able to determine where your thyroid level is when you actually go to the doctor and they take your blood. So you see that when the woman has a hypothyroid issue, they're very hyper, they cannot sleep at night, everything is like haywire for them. And also on the other side, when it's hypothyroidism, they have no energy, they're losing their hair, they're gaining a lot of weight, but then they're not really eating. These are things that happen also as a result of stress. And there are a lot of women walking around with a thyroid issue. They know they don't feel good in their body. They know that maybe they're doing everything that they need to do and something is not right. What I'm encouraging them to do is to seek help, go to the doctor, do like a physical, once a year, even if you don't have insurance, try to gather some money, because if you're paying your car insurance every month because you're worried that if the police stops you, you go to jail, then you need to put some money aside to go take care of your health.
Yes.
Because your body and your health is more important than the car. If the car breaks down, God will bless you to get another car.
That's right.
If your body breaks down, you only have one body, and that's it. So I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't have insurance, and yet they are working and working and working and racking up all this money to go build big houses in Africa when they're not even taking care of themselves.
Wow.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
One time a year, put some money together. If you don't have insurance, go and do a full checkup, and let the doctor run, your cholesterol, check your blood pressure, check your thyroid, check to make sure that you don't have diabetes, all those things, and make sure make sure that, everything is okay. If you don't do anything for your birthday, make that your birthday present.
Yeah.
Janice just put there, said, okay, so I need to get that check because I stopped eating a lot of food and I'm still gaining weight.
It might be a thyroid issue.
So this has been quite revealing and helpful, because some of these things is a women issue. I don't know it. And I'm glad.
I know it.
I'm glad you heard.
I just checked mine. I just did my physical and I went to all that, and
Abby said I should be
exercising.
She has to start exercising. She went from 0 to 3.
Yeah, she's gaining a lot of weight and fatness. And one thing that one thing I want to also mention, because just Sunday I was talking to Abby, in my office, and I was telling her that sometimes it's not even how heavy you are, but it's how the fat in your system, how high it is. Because you can be somebody who don't have body. Some people don't just have body. They are skinny. But you can be skinny and still have almost 90% fat in you. Okay? And you can be heavy and still have lower fat in you. Yeah. So you being skinny does not mean you are even safe if you are not eating right.
Because we all have different physique. Okay. God has made us, each and every one of us, in a unique way.
Okay.
So however you are, you want to maintain it.
Yes.
If you go beyond what God has given you, then which means you're telling your heart to work harder. You're telling your kidneys to work harder. Okay. You're telling your lungs to work extra hard. And what happens when somebody is put beyond, the job they're doing is beyond what their capacity can hold? They're going to break down.
Yeah, it's very important.
So that thyroid thing is very important. And if you have thyroid issues, you cannot have a baby. You have issues conceiving.
Wow.
If you have thyroid issues, you may not feel, your libido will be low.
Wow.
Yeah, the thyroid thing is very, very important.
And your thyroid issues can make you have high blood pressure or low blood pressure.
Yeah.
It's a very big thing that we as people, especially women, we need to make sure that we are going for our checkups and checking our thyroid and all those things so that we know that we are healthy.
Yeah, because I know one of my friends that it was so bad that they even have to take the thing off, the
thyroid gland. Okay.
off, because I mean it was so bad, and I think that, you know, once that we are here talking about this thing, some of us, we don't like going to the doctors, but at least whether you like the doctors or not, God has put them there for a purpose. At least once a year, go and do your physicals, please.
Or
Do
Mama, find a doctor
Yes.
that you're comfortable with, that is knowledgeable,
Yeah.
that you know will give you the what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are bad apples out there wherever you go.
Yeah.
But there are good people out there that really cares, that will really give you what you need so that you can be healthy.
Yeah, it's very, very important. Like, I think we have to take care of ourselves. It's very, very, very important. And you know, women, we have those small, you know, issues that sometimes the men doesn't even have. As Bishop said, he doesn't even know that this thyroid thing exists. But I have been, you know, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, they told me, it was very, very interesting. They told me, I think I have the one that you are supposed to lose weight. But I was gaining weight. So I told the doctor, no. If I have that, then why I'm gaining weight and you are telling me I have something that is supposed to make me lose weight? I don't. So she referred me to a specialist, and they check it, and they said that it wasn't that, I mean, serious or something like that. And every year I make sure I check it.
I had a thyroid issue before as well.
Oh, okay. You know.
Yes, and I got that checked out, and that was how I was able to have a baby, because it prevents you from having a baby. So you know,
it's very important, and a lot of women don't even know, or they know but they are not checking it. You have to check it. It will help you in all your ways. We have some comments. We will try to read all the comments.
Evangelist said, thyroid impacts everything in your body. And I like what you just said, because sometimes if the thyroid issue can even impact your ability to conceive and give birth, then I think it's a serious thing that women should take care of and look into.
Kate said something here. He said that in addition to sex, most couples need to know each other love language, gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, and physical touching. That's very, very good. You also have to know. So that is, and I think
Janice says too old to have kids, but I still need to get the thyroid check.
Yeah,
that's right.
And what Kate said, I think the last 2 weeks into the program, we said it, that sometimes don't let your wife feel that you are touching her just because you want to have sex. But, you know, touch your wife, kiss your wife, all those things. You know, don't just stay there a month you haven't touched, and all of a sudden you're touching because you have sex. I mean, it's also very important. Yeah.
Oh, I have one last thing that I wanted to say before we go.
Yeah.
And that is menopause.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
A lot of women feel like once they go through menopause, that their sex life is shut down and it's over.
Oh, okay.
Or a lot of men feel that once the woman or their wife goes through menopause, they don't want to have sex anymore. And that is why you see a lot of older men chasing these young girls. I'm here to announce to everybody that you can have sex during menopause. It's actually a good thing to have sex during menopause.
Okay.
Yes, there's been some hormonal changes, but there are foods that you can eat to help you to still feel sexually, you know, aroused and, you know, attractive. And as a matter of fact, they actually encourage women that are going through menopause to even have more sex, because when you go through menopause and the hormonal level has gone down, especially your estrogen, your vaginal area or the vagina itself, we call it atrophy, it begins to shrink. Because there isn't that much fluid and all those things going there, so that it hurts. Some women may not have sex at that time because it's painful, because they're not, you know, lubricated enough. So in cases like that, there has to be a lot of foreplay.
Okay.
to get her ready, and then you can also use some lubrication. And the more sex you have, you bring blood supply to the area
Okay.
to make that area nice and pink so that the sex can be enjoyable. But not having sex at all means that we're not bringing any blood supply to the area, and it's going to make the area small, and it's going to even shrink.
Wow.
So I've seen in cases where women come in and you can almost tell by just looking at their vaginal area that they're not having any sex at all because the place looks dull and it looks smaller.
Wow.
Yes, and so in that case, it makes sex very uncomfortable. So it's very,
I
very
think
important
I've
that
learned a
if you're
lot
a
today.
woman,
All my points are in my head now. I can't see much.
right. So
Somebody
if
is
you're, if
asking,
you're
Abby is asking, what is the age limit for menopause?
age limit,
At what age
So
do you
I
have?
think at what age do you start having menopause?
I think there are many factors that contribute to that, but I believe that averagely from 50 going. But I've seen people that have gone through menopause earlier,
Oh God.
in their 40s, and I also think that it also has a lot to do with your genetics.
Okay.
What time did the women in your family go into? What age did they go into menopause?
Oh, okay.
Okay, and there's also been women that have been put into menopause because of surgery.
Oh,
If they take their uterus away or their ovaries away, then you go into early menopause.
oh, okay.
So it all depends. It can also be medically induced or it can be natural, and it's based on your genetic. Just like how some girls can have their period at the age of 10 and some girls can have their period at the age of 18.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's all based on your genetic makeup. But averagely, by the time women are hitting their late 40s to 50s to 60s, they are going through menopause. And yes, 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 you can still have sex when you go through menopause. And sex can be enjoyable when you go through menopause. You just need to seek the right direction, the right care, so that you and your spouse can enjoy sex even during menopause.
Wow,
Wow.
that's awesome.
This is so good. This is so good. I think I really have to have another show. That we are going to talk about all these things. I mean,
Women's health.
Yeah, women's health.
So I can be out of that.
Yeah, yeah. No,
This is
I
too
will
much
ask
for me to handle now.
Sister Gloria,
Sister Glory and then Nana.
and Nana, and even that the four of us, I'm going to put something together. Yeah, he is there. He can help Sister.
And Bishop, it's very important that as our spouses, you guys need to know this so you can help
Yeah.
us through it.
Yeah, yeah, it's
You
very,
know,
very important. Yeah, we
it's
really
very
have to
important.
to talk about this thing. Yeah,
Once you go too much into medicine, you start losing me. But I will learn.
We are going to break it down to a very simple way so that you can
I
understand.
want to understand.
Yes. So
Thank you.
yeah, we will do that. So thank you so much, Pastor Nana, for joining us. Even when we are not in the 80, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, all my viewers. Thank you all of you for watching. I saw all of you watching here. Thank you. Please continue to share the video with your friends and family. Send it to them. It's going to be a blessing to them. And please, you can follow me on YouTube now. I have just Victoria Crappy, and you can what did they do? They how did
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Press the subscribe button.
Yes,
And get all the videos.
yeah, just subscribe and on YouTube, and it's going to be a very wonderful thing. But thank you so much. There's going to be a month that we're going to. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be a month coming soon that we will talk about just pure woman health. About all this thing. I'm going to bring some powerful, about 3 of them, nurses and doctors together, so we can really break this thing, and it's going to help us, and it's going to even help our husbands to know some of the things that we go through. But once again, thank you so much for watching. From New York, the weather is good. It's just very raining this morning, but it's clearing up. I love my blondes, and I'm here, and I'm going to not to eat so much. But thank you so much for
Please,
joining
if you're in the Bronx again, I want to
Yes.
invite you to a prophetic invasion conference at the Overcoming Faith Ministry, 4420 City Avenue,
Yes.
right here in the Bronx.
Mhm.
We trust in God for a great move. So come and be part of it and be blessed. All right? Pastor Nana, thank you so much for
God bless
joining us.
you. Enjoy.
My regards to Apostle. Everybody who
I
watched,
will.
God bless you. Hey,
God bless you.
Prophet Eric Akwesia Brenya, thank you for watching. Sister Glory, you deserve to come on this show.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to contact
yeah, you
you
have to be
because
here.
we have to do this. We have to talk about how to take care of ourselves as women.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
important.
have you down, so I will let you know. So you put it on your calendar.
And then I just saw my brother Benjamin Crappy. Thank you for joining. God bless.
Yes.
Amen. All right, so we're gonna go and enjoy your afternoon. Be blessed. Bye bye.
God bless you. Bye.